Okay, we're going to do an experiment. You need 5 stitches out. Do a closed cast on. What we're going to experiment with is making a bobble. And this is just a trim bobble. Now I did one right here. I didn't like the way it curls there. So I'm going to do a rib on those. Okay, so the pattern is a hand knit pattern that I am modifying for the bond. So put 5 needles out, cast on, and knit 5 rows. Now once you get the first row knitted, you're going to realize that you will need some weights. And I start off with 2 weights, and I'll add more if I need it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now what the first one is was just this, then I did the bobble. But I'm going to convert these into rib, and I'm hoping that'll force it to lay flat. Because I want to put this on the bottom of a skirt. Now if you wanted, a wider band, you could do more than 5 stitches. But I'm just doing a simple trim. Okay, so I got my 5. Now I need to cast on 2 stitches. And I found the easiest way is to do a wrap cast. So you bring the 6th needle out, wrap it, and knit the one before. And the next needle out, wrap the 2 of them, knit it, then wrap it and knit it. Now that will need a couple weights because of the nature of the beast. Okay, now next 5 rows you're going to be doing by hand because you're only going to knit these 2 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, give yourself a little bit of leeway with the yarn. Now what you need to do is pick up the edge stitch for those 5 stitches. Okay, so you're going to pick up the edge stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then pick up that stitch you just knitted. 5. Take it off the machine, take the yarn, and knit through all 5. Takes a little convincing sometimes. Now don't pull it too far because you want it snug. Then put this on the stitch beside it and knit through, and then move this stitch over 1. Okay, and then knit 5 rows. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, no, actually it's 6 rows, because you got to end up over here. Okay, then you do the wrap cast on, wrap the needle, stitch the one before it, wrap the needle, stitch the one before it, wrap the needle, stitch the last one. Move your weights up. They kind of wrap each other at the bobble stage. Okay, now you get to take these two and knit 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, pick up. Now I'm just moving the weights over to get them out of the way. So pick up the 5 stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And knit through. Keeping the working yarn a little taut. You may have to work it to get it to go over because it's tight. Keep the stitch small and put it back on the next needle. Cast these two off. Move over one stitch. And you can at this point move these weights out of the way. Okay, now knit 5 or 6 rows. You may want to keep this consistent. So 5, I think 6 is the one that's works. That's 1. Okay, now that did not stitch. That last stitch didn't stitch. So just manually pull it through so that it stitches. 2, 3, 4. And again, you got to watch the last stitch. It does not like stitching for some reason. I think mainly because I usually put a piece of weight at that end, and I did not this time. Okay. And I lost track of how many rows. So it's 1, 2, 3. 2, 4. I think that was 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's 2 more rows. Now what I'm doing is I'm changing my counter. So I should have, I'm going to go 5 and 10. Okay, I've got about 8 inches of Bobbles done, and I wanted to show you that other increase, the regular. What you do is you take the last stitch, move it over one, do an increase on this one by picking up the nub from below, or post, bar, yeah, it's the bar that you want, and then taking a bar from over here. Okay, then do your 5 stitchings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then pick up the 5 edge stitches. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Trying not to split the yarn because that'll make it tight. And 5. That fifth stitch is the stitch that's on the machine. You're taking it off the machine and then stitching through with your tool. Okay, and we hang it on the machine. Knit through, and then just move this one over to here. Now that one may not knit because it is a tight stitch there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to manually knit that, put that in the hold position, then wrap my yarn around the needle, and then knit 5 rows. So 1, put this one back into work position, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see where I guess you can't see. You can see where I've done the rib, and I do like the texture. It's nice flat bar. Now where I did that increase, it might cause me issues, so I'm going to do that really slow. Well, actually I shouldn't, because it's the first stitch that I used, not the second stitch, which is what I'm transforming. Just find the right stitch. Sorry about that. You might need to use a transfer tool to unstitch them. And ladder back up. And there's the bobbin. I think I like the ones we've been doing, but they are real similar to each other. And to finish it off, if that's as long as I wanted it, I would just cast off there and then sew it to whatever it is I'm making. And there's the bobbles, minus the weights. Okay. Let's see, here's the first one. I did the curls, and I like the solid one much better. Now what you can do, you can hand stitch that onto the bottom of a top. You can either go all the way up underneath it or just stitch it to the very edge. You can even make a little hat out of it. Looks like a little crown. That's kind of cute. Okay. And that's how you do a bobble trim on the bond. Next video I'll do bobbles in the middle of the work. Okay. Thank you much.